Then we're going to talk about the kind of clip apocalypse, right? Which is something that I've talked a little bit about, but we're going to talk about it in relation to Cover Corporation and some folks, or at least one big channel getting hit by it, and other clippers that are getting hit by it as well. I actually know some clippers that are not in the VTubing sphere that have been hit recently over reused content. So this is something I think YouTube is cracking down on, and this is going to be a big effect, not just for Cover, but also for all clipper channels. This is going to affect every single clipper, right? So for example, the LawTube clippers, it's going to affect them. It's going to affect a lot of other channels. It's already hit a ton of channels. So monetization is now going to be rough on YouTube for those types of channels. They're going to really have to look at, okay, am I either going to transform the content in a significant way, or am I going to, just give up, right, and abandon my channel, or what, right, or they're just going to do it for free. So I mentioned Alyssa Clips. Yeah, I think she's already been demonetized. Alyssa Clips, I think, has already been demonetized. So a lot of other people that are clippers have been demonetized already. LawTube clippers need to add graphics and voiceover transitions. Laziest clippers on YouTube. Well, here's the thing. I don't mind clippers, and from a bigger standpoint, transitioning to the clipper topic, I think clippers are good. And I know a lot of people say they're leeches or lampreys, and maybe they are very, very lazy. Maybe that's true. Maybe they are lazy, because clipping is really easy. I can do clipping. And if I can do it, that means anybody can fucking do it, right? It's not a difficult thing to do to clip a stream. Right now, it does take some work, right? It does take some effort to go back and make a thumbnail and post it. Although, you can just make a thumbnail from the episode. You don't even need to it'll just auto generate a thumbnail, right? If you are really, really lazy. So in terms of clipping, some people think there's these leeches, lampreys, but in my mind, they way increase the discoverability of you as a creator. So if someone is clipping my content, then more videos are out there of me. And even if those videos only get another 1,000 views or 10,000 views, that's still 10,000 more views I didn't get before. And if the clip goes viral, then people are going to come to my channel. So I love it when people clip me. I love it when people make shorts or whatever out of my content. That's great. As long as they're not reposting my entire episode, I don't have a problem with it. If they do post my entire episode, yes, then I would strike them, because they're not clipping at all. They're not even doing any work at all. There's no, it's a substitute for my actual stream. But a clip is not a substitute for the entire stream. And I see people saying here, I see in the chat, oh, clippers are lazy. Okay, but it's still providing a service. Yes, it's not as hard to clip as it is to create original content, but it's still an important service, right? It's like saying, for example, oh, delivery drivers are an easy job, but it's an important job, because restaurants will not sell as much food unless there's delivery drivers. Delivery drivers really actually help restaurants a lot, because they get that food to people that wouldn't otherwise order that food. They would just not go out and not, maybe eat at home, or order something that is easily delivered, right? Versus somewhere that maybe, because of services like here in Asia, Grab or, Uber Eats or whatever else, are more accessible, right? So yes, not necessary, maybe not as original. Obviously the chef has more creativity than a delivery driver, but the clip is still important. It gets it out there in a digestible fashion, right? Other people say they're not lazy. They're a core part of the community. I think it can be both. It can be, look, it's not as difficult to clip. That's true, but it's still important, right? It's a key part of the chain. Let's continue. Guys, by the way, I know not all clippers are created equal, right? So there are different types of clippers, right? So some clippers, for example, like this one, are adding translations. That's way fucking harder, right? Or way more difficult than just taking something in the same language and clipping it without any edits, and it's a single clip, right? You're just taking it out and you're only focusing on one channel. That's probably a little easier, right? Than scraping through dozens and dozens of channels, right? Because people mention here, there's some clippers that go through dozens, maybe even hundreds of channels, right? Trying to find good clips. There's all sorts of different types of channels.
Whilst others accusing them of content theft. I personally... It's
not theft, right? It's not theft, right? It's really arrogant to enjoy the content of popular people for free and then say my revenue has been suspended. That's weird. It's so gross. If you want to make money, create your own content from scratch. Look, listen, some people, some VTubers blew up based on clips. So the VTuber themselves can sometimes get popular because of the clipper, right? So the clipper in that case is actually helping that person make more original content and bring people to their channel, right? Money is the incentive and money is value, right? And it is something you give in exchange for hard work. And, you know, if you work hard, you should be paid for it. And if you're doing a lot of work clipping, I do believe you should be paid for that. I really do. I genuinely do believe you deserve to be paid for that. And you deserve to be able to get compensated for that, how people who work hard are compensated in ad revenue. It's not a lot of money, by the way, guys. Most clip channels are not bringing home the bank. I mean, I was talking to a clipper the other day, you know, they were saying maybe they make $1,000 or $2,000, which is, it's money, right? It's money. I mean, there's really bad months. Like I think last year that I had 1 month where like my low was like 2,300. That was a really fucking slow month. That was like a super slow month when I made 2,300 off of YouTube. It was super slow. I think I was traveling or something. But that's not a ton of money, right? That's not a ton of money, right? But it's compensation for your work. Okay, so your work is not going uncompensated. I don't believe that you should have to do work for free for the proletariat. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a side hustle, but it should be a hustle, right? I mean, you can make money off a side hustle. That's fine. That's fine. Oliver Klozoff says, some think clippers are barely artists. Others vehemently support clipper rights. I feel we can compromise that a clipper is 3/5 of a creator.
Fighting monkey とかさ。
We're going to move on from that. End of the beginning says, for those people that are clippers, if you can edit and you can't monetize your clip channel, I would suggest offering editing services to other channels. Yeah. I mean, my clipper, Eagle, Eagle is a great clipper. He's a great dude. He's really fast. He's getting really good. Shout out to Eagle. He's the guy who clips for me. And I have an individual deal with Eagle, right? I deal with him, right? So that he can find a way to monetize off of his efforts, right? And we have a one-on-one arrangement. I would recommend perhaps people do that, right? So if you have somebody you really like, be like, hey, yo, I'll be your co-hi. I'll be your clipper. I'll come help you and offer that service to you, because that is a very important service, right? And that does save me a lot of time. I can clip my own shit, but I don't want to. I really don't. I have a lot of stuff to do, and I can make more money and lead a happier life if I delegate that out, right? It's much easier that way.